What's up guys, Irish Tail here, and welcome to today's video with the question, is Siege becoming a little bit too much like Call of Duty? So essentially, for those of you guys that don't know, this weekend is the ESL Finals, and during this time we get a load of information about the new season, stuff coming up in the new season, blah 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 blah. You get the point. I'm not going to explain it all, it's probably been explained before. So this weekend, essentially, they've told us loads of stuff, and one of the major things to come out of this is that they're adding in full body customization for several operators in what they're calling elite skins. I imagine they'll have other types of skins as well, but those are the ones that have been mentioned. Now, as you're seeing on the screen, there's one for Kapkan, there's one for Sledge, and there's one for Thermite. Now, what these skins seem to be doing is also giving end emotes at the end of a game. So with Kapkan, you see it's his knife, with Sledge it's his new sledgehammer thing that he uses and spins it around, and with Thermite he has his, like, rubbing his hands and making fire. Now, on the innocuous end of the spectrum, this probably doesn't seem that important or bothersome, but what's concerning me is that they're taking away from the realism of the game by adding in more and more things to make the game less realistic and more on this, like, unserious side. So basically, if you know Call of Duty, you know at the end of the game at the minute, they have the MVP screen, and they basically have those little dances they do, or the stupid emotes that they do, and basically they're making Call of Duty less and less serious each year to appeal to the kids that play the game. Now, my concern is that Siege seems to be doing the same thing, and they're basically starting to add in these emotes. Now, one of my favourite things about Siege is it's a game that takes itself seriously and, doesn't go in for that unserious vibe. And, the headgears didn't really bother me because, at the end of the day, they weren't that intrusive. The skins on the guns, again, I quite like because in reality, people do actually do that. They do put skins on their weapons to make them unique to them, although it doesn't happen that often. And I just think even full body customization with armor sets and, like, body sets would be quite cool. But these emotes, I think, is what's pushing it towards the unserious spectrum. And it's concerning me because if this is where Siege is going, I'm not looking forward to the next year of season pass information and stuff coming out. And yes, people are arguing, it doesn't actually affect the gameplay. But at the end of the day, if they can start thinking, okay, we can make it unserious in this regard, they might then start going, well, we're making money off of this and these emotes, so we want to add in, different body sets that are really wacky. And then you're treading off the end of, like, realistically, those sort of suits make it even more unrealistic. And the idea is, while yes, the end emotes aren't bad at the minute, they're not the end of the world, it could lead to making Siege less realistic and less serious. And that's my concern. And that's what I'm worried about happening, because at the end of the day, if Siege becomes less serious, it becomes more like Call of Duty. It attracts more of a childish fan base. I mean, if you've played Call of Duty, you know the amount of little kids screaming at you and shouting and doing, like, all sorts of stupid things is extremely high, because that's who Call of Duty cater their game for. They make it unserious so those people will enjoy it. And Siege, for the most part, has quite a grown-up audience about it. I mean, my best example of that is yesterday I had a game with a guy, and we were ribbing each other, like, making jokes about each other in the game. And at the end of the day, we still pulled together and we still won the match, and we still had a good laugh. And we both sort of realised, it wasn't any kind of offence intended when we were talking to each other. It was just a general bit of a joke. And that's the community I like. I like the Siege community because it's more grown up. And I'm concerned that this is what's pushing Siege into making it more unserious. And I hope it doesn't do it, to be honest. I'm kind of hoping that the community has a big outcry against these emotes at the end and says, we don't want them. Stop making it more like Call of Duty, because we like this game being different. Whether or not they do is a different story. Obviously, you've got to think that money is involved here. Essentially, the idea is they want you to spend money on Rainbow Six Siege points to basically buy the skins, bodysuits, end emotes, if they happen to add those. Essentially so that they get more money in case you don't want to grind and don't want to spend the renown. And, that's the thing. Money is kind of the be-all and end-all in most companies. That's how they make... Obviously, that's where they get their profits from to pay their staff to do more things. And, obviously, if it makes them a lot of money, they'll probably keep it. But I'm hoping either this is the end of where they start to go unserious and we go back to nicer things. Like, if they just focused on more realistic headgear, more realistic gun skins, more realistic body changes for the operators. That would be nice. Hopefully they do that. If they don't, I don't see Siege lasting much longer with the serious community base that it currently has. It'll probably, like I said, dip to the Call of Duty kids kind of audience, which isn't the best thing for the game. But those are just my opinions. As I said, this seems to be something that is quite hotly debated. It's on Reddit, it's on Facebook, it's pretty much everywhere that I look at Siege content, and people seem to either really like it or really dislike it. So let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Is it something you think that they should just remove completely? Let me know. And of course, I will be doing videos on Hibana and Echo and the new map, and those will be coming out tomorrow, hopefully. And basically I'll be covering all the new stuff that we get. I was going to do that video today, but realistically everything they've talked about at ESL so far, we kind of already knew, and I didn't want to offend your intelligence by basically repeating shit that we already knew from like last week. As, you know, it's just not worth it to you guys. Why would I keep posting stuff? I'm not money hungry, and I have some integrity. So I hope you guys can appreciate that, and look forward to those videos coming out tomorrow. But other than that, guys, though, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, as always, feel free to give it a like. If you didn't enjoy it, feel free to give it a thumbs down. Subscribe for more Siege content, and I'll see you in the next one.